So what is a limit in calculus, and what is the graphical meaning of a limit? Let's take a look. So we have the limit x approaches 2 of this particular rational expression 2x squared minus 3x plus 1 divided by x cubed plus 4. So the idea of a limit is essentially when it's approaching certain number on the x-axis as the inputs, as you come closer and closer and closer to that particular value at num2 in this case, from the negative side, from the positive side, you see f of x is also approaching some value both from the negative side and also from the positive side, and that is the limit of that particular function as x approaches a certain point 2. So let's go ahead and take a look at our particular example, and the very first thing that we see is what is a limit. Essentially a limit is what describes a function, how it behaves near a point instead of exactly at that point. So you want to see the behavior of a, because exactly at that point you may not, it may be undefined, for example. So you want to look at it very, very close to that point, but not exactly at that point. So this idea is the very fundamental basis, one of the fundamental ideas of calculus, where you see you're trying to look very close in order to figure out what's happening exactly around that area of 2, f of input of 2 and output whatever that comes out, but we don't unable to calculate it because of the fact that when we substitute that becomes undefined and so on and so forth. So I hope that explains the limit. In this case, this is the graph of this function that we have graphed here. So there is a vertical asymptote. As you can see, we set x cubed plus 4 equals 0, the denominator, and we get our vertical asymptote. That's where the graph will not cross past that vertical asymptote. Okay, excellent. So now we will see that as we approach 2 on the x-axis as the input from the negative side and the positive side, you see the function of x is approaching a certain value. Okay, so we set x, as x approaches 2, we see that the function of x is going to approach, in this case, in our particular case, 1/4. Okay, so this is 1/4, this is 1, this is 1/4. So, and now you can also calculate that using algebra. So if you were to substitute x equals 2 in our rational expression here, and then you will see you can just calculate that using algebra, you'll also get the same answer, 1/4. Okay, so that is the definition of a limit and how it works in this particular example. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions, comment. I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye.